class. My name is Lamai Johnson, and today I'm going to be talking about the election of 1864. Some of you guys may be wondering, what is the election of 1864? The election began in the summer of 1864 with the Democratic Party, who spelled victory in the fall elections. Northerners were ready for a change, and Lincoln himself concluded that the previous administrators would not be reelected. After being rankled by a war that seemed like it would never end, the draft, the attack on civil liberties, and the commitment to blacks, they felt like they've had enough. The Democrats' bad division. The Democrats were badly divided because peace Democrats insisted on armistice, which is a truce. On the other hand, war Democrats supported the conflict, but opposed Republican means of fighting it. The party tried to come to an agreement by nominating a war candidate named General George McClellan. Republicans then denounced the peace plank as a cut-and-run plan that virtually proposed to surrender the country to the rebels in arms against us. Lincoln versus McClellan, the two presidential candidates. Lincoln received 55% of the popular vote, but his electoral margin was a whopping 212. Lincoln's party won a resounding victory, and it gave him a mandate to continue the war until slavery and the Confederacy was dead. On the other hand, McClellan's electoral votes was 21, and which means he was defeated by 191 votes. After all, the capture of Atlanta in September turned the political tide in the favor of the Republicans. A famous quote from Abraham Lincoln reads, "America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we alter and lose our freedom, it will be because we destroyed ourselves." Abraham Lincoln. And now I will share a small summary of what I've just read.
This opening plan shot of the cannons and other equipment Plummer and Minister give up into the firepower that the Union had at the beginning of 1865. Yeah, in this exercise, I learned that President Lincoln was in a precarious position in the 1864 election. He was in danger of being replaced as the Republican candidate. Hindsight find that unthinkable. McClellan, his former general, was the nominee for the peace wing of the Democratic Party, which had declared the war a failure, and even toyed with the idea of suing for peace. Of course, let it be said that McClellan denied that plank of the Democrat platform. So the President, in order to maintain his status as candidate, signed a pledge that if he were not re-elected, he guaranteed the victory over the South before Inauguration Day of 1865. Lincoln knew that the preservation of the Union required soundly defeating the Confederacy. One can only imagine the severe price of men and material that would have been paid by both sides in a 2-month do-or-die war. Over 2 years earlier, General McClellan and the President met near the Antietam battlefield after the Union victory. You know, I shall never look at this formal photo again without feeling the extreme tension that, I know, existed between these two leaders. The victory at Antietam was looked upon by Lincoln as a hollow honor. Of course, on the one hand, it gave the President a victory to bolster the issuing of the Emancipation Proclamation. But he firmly believed that had the general not been timid and held half of his troops in reserve, he could have smashed in his forces. Thus the war would have been over right then and there. Within a month, McClellan was history. Fired. Abraham Lincoln hired and fired generals till he found one who could stomach the losses required to win this little war. General Ulysses S. Grant. Yes, I know some of the details of this history are contested, but I have gained by 1,000-fold respect and admiration of the man, President Abraham Lincoln.
Thank you for watching my presentation.